So, yeah, what I've been doing is practicing just doing live on the fly. Sometimes life is like that. Right. Anyway, uh, there's things I could talk about, but some people have already talked about them, and they do it so well. It's like, okay, well, what that one said, I agree. Uh, I'm gonna probably get some interesting reactions, and I totally forgot something. Of course, hang on. Alrighty, get my Stitch Variety hydration for the day. Water does help lubricate the joints. Is why we drink water. All right. Anyway, my name is Dr. Mia Lueth. It is 8:48 a.m. Eastern Time, New York, USA. It is October 7th, 2025. So I need to address some situations. Okay. There seems to be. I think the old boys club is confused. Yeah. See, I choose to talk with the grown men club. Okay. All right. Anyway, right. So, I mean, I've wanted to get married for a while. I don't see marriage like some horrible friggin' prison where you're like trapped in this. Uh, but I can say, when it comes to the old rock and roll thing and music and musicians, right, there is one named Benjamin. And what I'm going to say is, well, one of them doesn't count against you because, right, you got downed by a witch who didn't know there was a plan. So, and there's some who think that I'm just like that. You can just, mosey on by and just choose me for yourself or something. Excuse me. Let's find out who you are. One who is mistaken. I don't have to do any of that. I don't need any of that. I never have. I'm not hunting anything actually. Okay, but putting stress and pressure on disabled people. I mean, none of you have miraculously cured me of anything. And well, I'll accept the label. I will accept the label female. Right? Well, when I was growing up, we were known as tomboys. Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm a sweetheart when it comes to certain things. Okay, but there comes a certain point in time where it's just like, excuse me, are you going to contribute anything to this relationship other than your meaningless, empty words? So Benjamin sent to me. Oh yes, there's someone who's going to make sure that the right ones see this. Okay, so it doesn't matter to me what the statistics look like, or it can come across like nobody's watching us. And I understand why, because you will all avoid what I have to say until your very lives end. 'Cause, 'end. 'Cause, 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 Now, I prefer it not be that way, but free will and all that, you know. So any spell cast on me gets removed. And yeah, there's quite a few who have been trying to talk to me via text, my email, and my direct messages. And I'm not obligated to answer you. None of you are my boss. None of you are paying my way through life. And none of you are taking care of me financially, nor are you providing me housing or food or clothing. And your antiquated views are dying so quickly that, yes, you are shocked and stunned. I choose not to be enlightened by those who keep cycling around thinking the shit is changing for you. When in fact, that is not the case at all. And you are indeed on that downward spiral. And I wash my fucking hands clean of you. Now, I don't need a I don't need a computer program to tell me anything. You can take your metrics and shove them up your ass because that is where they need to be. Give yourselves an enema with that crap. Oh, all I asked God for was a husband. That's it. Yeah, like hairs will start growing on your chin when you start getting older. Right, you're afraid of reality. You're afraid of looking in the mirror and taking time to check your own selves out. And well, unfortunately, now it's being forced on you. And I am not the one doing that. I've never ever once cast a love spell on anybody. Have been occasions I've done a few things just sort of gratis for the hockey club here or there. Well, I mean, that's love. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, no problem. And it's really none of anybody's business. And anybody who asks me, how does that make you feel? And I'm just like, go extinct faster. I am abundantly aware that I am too rock and roll for some of you, which is why I wasn't messing with ya. See, somebody wants to tell me about some fucking, yeah, oh, I know, ooh, fairy tale. Well, my fairy tale doesn't look like that. My fairy tale has guitars in it. You don't get to define my fairy tale. You don't get to define my life. You don't get to just think in your right elitist, conceited way as though for some reason somebody put you high above everybody else. I mean, some conversation I've had in air quote private, like dudes who very much appear to still be going through a divorce, who very much appear to be with another person. Well, tough shit. I'm not with you, and you cannot make that manifest. Yeah, I have nothing to do with that. I don't care how much you're worth. I don't care how pretty you are. Right, and there is one male becoming a man. Right, who does do the whole rock and roll thing, but unfortunately, he's been misled about what that might be. So, I am making sure because of his young stature that the appropriate influences are on him. And he may not understand today, but in the long run, it will quite literally save his life. Okay? My natural born face. If that's a problem for you, then walk the fuck away. Because it ain't changing. I'm chubby. Number one, right? The only real exercise I can do, given, right, my disability, is swimming in a lap pool. Now, see, none of you are providing me that resource, you understand? So, shut your faces, sit down, and leave me in peace. I've been misdiagnosed quite a few times, and at this point, I'm just like, I can't help it, American Medical Association. Okay, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but it's not helping the citizens of the United States of America. Yeah, I was born in this country. And right, the reason I'm not worried about law enforcement or getting nervous is because right, I'm not doing any of that. Here. This is what I want to say to some people I've run across in my life. You understand? Right. You get your ego bruised, and then you try to put your own self at some higher level as though right you are perfect and you are delusional in the true and real psychological sense. I have the qualifications to say that. Not me. I don't live in fantasy land. I walk around in the real world. And you all want to avoid it because you're afraid. because you're afraid that somebody might realize that, you're not really a decent person, or you're afraid that somebody might, right, you might touch somebody and not know how to be intimate with people. And so you fucking put up smoke screens and they are dying at a breakneck pace. That is what's happening entirety of planet Earth. We do not tolerate dictators here. When it comes to the United States of America, okay, those of you outside the United States of America, I mean, I know what it looks like to you. And sometimes, yeah, I mean, there's things that work with countries that are older. The only issue is that, yeah, you can't really do that here, because we actually do have a real and true separation of church and state on purpose. And it was set up correctly. And 7 lampstands stand, 7 angels, 7 churches. Now, I only represent one of them. And no, I'm not trying to put influence on the United States government to become a theocracy. I am putting influence on the United States government because I'm a United States citizen who has some brains, who's lived through some shit, has been to private school in the United States, has been to public school in the United States, has seen shut your mouths, felons walking around the United States. Yeah, I'm talking about natural born American citizens. Zip it. You can whine about it. You can cry about it. You can piss and moan about it. But those were your mistakes. And when, especially if you're younger, don't tell me nobody gave you a fucking chance. You cowardly liars. Because I did. And yet you continued along that path. That doesn't make you intelligent. That doesn't make you clever. That makes you a menace to fucking society. So I don't have to like you. And I get it. See, law enforcement, you got to be on the up and up. Because if you're not, okay, yeah, those scumbags that can't, do shit anymore, or they have a harder time doing it because they're, all locked up, right? Well, they get set free when you fuck up corrupt law enforcement in the United States. So I suggest you either retire or you fucking stop what you're doing and report yourselves to your superiors. Truth has a face. And here it is. Hockey people. Ice hockey people. Right. Yeah, I wasn't really bitching and complaining that I was born without a penis. No big deal. Right? It wasn't the fact that I was a female. I live in Maryland. And, right, when I was growing up, there weren't really a lot of, ice rinks in the first place. I mean, there's more now. And also there's more, right, hockey, learn to play hockey programs. Right. There's one that's, just north of me. And I visited every single one of them personally in the flesh to find out what the facilities were like, to find out if they had, right, hockey programs, to find out, right, costs, to find out if I could find a skating coach that wasn't a figure skating coach. Because figure skates are different from hockey skates. Well, unless you're like one guy makes one blade out of them. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's fine. But you have 2 blades most of the time. They don't work. Yeah, well, here's the thing is that, I tried the hockey skates and they don't really hug the ankle right the same way. You don't get the same ankle support. Also, you can't maneuver exactly the same way. And right, the toe picking, I just we couldn't get along. I mean, I didn't care. I powered through it, falling down, and crap, when I'm okay. But that's when I bought a pair of Nikes, which they call recreational states, but essentially two blade. And I think Bauer, somebody else bought them. They have a different kind now. But yeah, hockey skates were more my style. Okay. So, no, growing up, there wasn't really nearby any kind of like well put together recreational hockey program. That is not the case anymore. And I'm happy for the little kids and people get to try it and watch it, people, right? Because now at least they have more opportunities. Okay, I know costs, especially with goaltending. Oh, I got sticker shock. I went to Ice World, which is in Harford County. And they have two, yeah, it's a pretty good facility. And they do have some knowledgeable people when I went who know about, like hockey gear and stuff. And yeah, I went in and did, a couple things. And I went in and because I needed to get new. And I need, because of the breastplate. Okay, the only thing available though, right, for goalies, you understand, right, was male. Okay, yeah, they just had the kind for male and females just kind of had stuff into it, which is okay with me. I mean, if I really need to, yeah, that when you ace bandage when you sprain something, right? I just ace bandage my girls flatter. I don't want them all bouncing around when I'm trying to defend the net anyway. All right, but I mean that was an obstacle. Okay, I don't know what it was like in Canada or like some places where it's just like Detroit. Yeah, they've just been hockey for a long time, Boston and the northern states. I don't know. Okay, maybe that was available, but where I grew up, no, that wasn't, and that's also changed. Right, you can actually right female breastplate. Right, you have like there's adjustments on the females that are different, and there's protection for the side boob. Okay, right, because you don't want to. It doesn't even matter. That thing comes at you 50 miles an hour. Okay, you don't want to get hit in your actual body with one of those. Okay, so I did try to contact female hockey team. I guess it was Baltimore Blizzard and Chesapeake Bay Lightning. Now I think, yeah, I think one is no longer, but I mean, basically they were very welcoming. They said, well, even if you're not really good at skating or right, you haven't really right. I mean, they'll you learn as you play because this, you know what I'm saying, all right? And I was planning on doing that, and I actually was going to go to a goalie camp. And I think it was in Cabin John, but I'm not entirely sure. And I paid, but the problem is that I ended up talking to my doctors, and I ended up finding out that one, I had a little bit at the time. It was a little bit of osteoarthritis, and one of my knees been damaged from other sports, and so it was like twisting it a little bit. So I needed to figure out by learning to skate for ice hockey if I could really, participate. And I was older, so it was like, okay, but there's pickup teams, and the pickup teams weren't close to me, but I wouldn't mind. Like if I get to play at midnight, you know what I'm saying? Like screw it, get off work, take a little nap, eat some food, get myself ready, drive an hour and a half to play pickup, which I did eventually. Um, because I right. also I worked, and I was taking care of my parents and myself, and and trying to, yes, life balance thing. But I also found out, right, yeah, uh, some of this like pickup dudes ended up breaking my coccyx. Here's a rule for the really pickup rep. Yeah, listen, okay. If the whole team decides to drink before they play, okay, you need to make sure your goalie is also in a drunken state. Okay, right. It was my sobriety. Exactly. Anyway, yeah, burnt toxins. Well, I also have now two imbalanced legs. Right. I mean, it wasn't the travel, and I didn't have to pay. Goalie shows up in goalie gear. They're like, fucking hey, you don't even care. Like, we don't want to do it. I'm like, yeah, I know. All right. Well, a few of them has died. I've tried to catch up with some people along the way. Friends come and go. Sometimes you lose contact. It's not. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. But yeah, I mean, once it got to a certain point, but yeah, the sticker shock was another thing that caused that was a bear. Like pads and everything. I'm like, how much? Like she shows me like a basic set of pads and and then I see the price tag. I'm like, I gotta get another job. Fuck. Like, holy fuck. I mean, yeah. So I couldn't put an order in. And somebody did tell me that if I went down to like Savannah Park and some other places, or right, playing against sports that are closer to where they do have actual ice hockey programs, right, I might find used. So I did find some used stuff, and somebody actually was for my birthday bought me a pair of goalie skates. So goalie skates different, right? But I learned on skater skates, two-blade hockey skates first. So I also had to adjust. So I had to do like, yeah, depending on what my work schedule was like and what was going on with my family, because I had two parents who were became, yes, seriously ill at a certain point. So I needed to be kind of close to them, see, make sure they're okay, visit, spend as much time as I could with them. And like I said, they were two generations older than me, so I get gypped badly on time with my family. On a true. So while some people were partying and just starting their lives and just getting out independent, right, I was already fully immersed in full time work. I did have a little bit of a social life, but I knew in my mid 20s that I was going to be the one to have to help my parents out and be there for them, and make sure that they were okay. Check in with them, go visit them, take care of the house for a little while. Yeah, I think my dad died at 72. My mom died at 78, and one brother died at the age of 25. Another one died at the age of 33. My children passed away at the age of 6. They were twins. So I've been gypped time on earth with family. I never even met one set of grandparents. But yes, sticker shock when it came to goalie gear. So I still plan on I had that, like, yeah, I couldn't do the goalie camp. Skate around with a bunch of teenage boys. Yeah, that's how it was gonna be for me. Like this 20-some-year-old, 28-some-year-old female. And I'm like, oh well, just skate around with a bunch of teenage boys. I don't care. Right, doctor was like, I don't. I had an orthopedist by then. Yeah, regular orthopedist. It's like, well, there's some things that could go wrong, and you need to like get some tests into. And then then I got a high ankle sprain and some other thing happened, so I couldn't go do the goalie camp. But I just can't let them keep the money. It's like, well, whatever, man. It's a goalie. It's a tip. It's a tip for goalies, right? Yeah, it's a hey, gratuity. Like I don't want to keep it. I never asked for it back. I didn't care. Uh, so yeah, I mean, but it was very difficult for me. My time management skills are very, very well honed. But I am not going to walk around as a female saying that it's because I didn't have a penis, because that's just false. That's not true. It was lack of opportunity. Okay, there wasn't an ice rink. Right, there were a few. Okay, but trying to get there and put it right for me, already fully ensconced in an adult life. Right. And then yes, money and all that kind of stuff. So I was all right with it. I mean, at least I had a chance to like play a few like actual. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, for like 2 seasons. Yeah, the midnight. We're the midnight. Yeah, we got midnight ice time. Yes, exactly. Yeah, we only get an hour, and then So by the time I would get home, it would be like 2:30 or so, and I'd be up like dark 30 for work. But I mean, I could take a nap, but it was kind of taking its toll, right? But regardless, it wasn't had nothing to do with my gender. It didn't have anything to do with the fact I didn't have a penis. So those females who were bitching, making claims that the lack of penis, is your issue. Well, shut the fuck up. I disagree with you. Quit whining, especially some of you grew up where, yes, okay, there's been co-ed PVs, and yeah, you understand, right? Don't don't start your bullshit with me. I don't give a shit. Okay, the reason I couldn't, right? Injury, age, lack of availability, money, right? Lots of things. Okay, but it's changed. Like you can get different kind of breastplates now. I could not find strictly right. They were all just male fit. It's okay, right? Money, that kind of thing. All right. So I'm just mentioning these things to people because some of you're just ignorant, rude, selfish turds who think you have the right to dictate shit to other people who you preserve. Yes, you all have done that to me so many times. I'm fucking used to it, and I shouldn't be. Okay, your idea of beauty. That's what I'm getting at. I'm like, holy crap. Right, the symmetrical, trying to mess around and make these perfect children. No, see, what you're doing is you're making perfectly stupid beings that unfortunately you've been allowing to reproduce. See what I'm trying to say? Right. I am not in the entertainment industry. I have not put on any of this entertainment as the category. Oh, I know I'm a bit way too out, way too rock and roll for some. I know. I get it. Big deal. Somebody trying to bend and shape and mold me, and I'm like, what are you trying to change me into? Somebody I'm not. I'm also not an actor paid or any of that crap. So definitely that stuff needs to fucking stop. Any males outside the United States who happen to see this, yeah, it doesn't include all of you. I know this, right? You all appreciate females, and right? We're equal as humans. We might be different and so on and so forth, but yeah. But yeah, others who don't like females who speak tough shit, man. Then get out of my fucking country and go back to yours, or just accept it. Welcome to America. Can I be intimidating? Sometimes. Sometimes I do. Stand my ground. Okay. But yeah, sticker shock. That's why. That's why I couldn't. And there is one. And his name is Benjamin. You understand? Okay. Yeah, no, you don't get to like surf around like, oh yeah, no, I want you. I'm choosing my wife. Who the fuck are you? Cowards. Cowards is exactly the terminology for it. I was not operating in error. I was not operating incorrectly. I'm still not doing things incorrectly. No respect, dudes. I get it. I grew up in mostly around dudes my whole life. And some of you, I know you puff your chest, you want it, right? I get it. But I get it, you're vulnerable. Just like, yeah, I know, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Well, I definitely don't have like six boyfriends or some shit, right? But yeah, because sometimes people don't like friends who are boys, you know what I'm trying to say? But sometimes you guys just roll from one relationship to another. You don't bother taking the time to heal. You don't bother looking at yourself in the mirror to find out, okay, well, how did I contribute to the end of this? So some of you dreaming of some fucking fairy tale, you need to leave me out of your fucking dreams right now. And some of you musicians, right, well, now you're going to suffer the consequences. But some of you, right, you were influenced in ways that were incorrect. So I'm not saying all of you. Also, you trying to talk to me about the devil's music. Like, the devil can't make music that well. Anybody test me? Like, yeah, there was this dude I knew a long time ago. Okay, he got some mental health issues, and he's a sad, miserable person, and I don't like to see that. But whatever. Okay, you try and think. I don't even know. Anyway, but like he came back into my life like some 20 years later. I don't even fucking know. Yeah. Regardless, okay. Like he kept thinking, you love me. I'm like, no, no, you don't. Like, we got nothing in common. Okay, I'm not attracted to you. You're you don't like music. You don't like sports. Okay, you're not a farmer. You work for the government. Okay, like, right. And then he hides himself away because one of the neighbor's kids, yeah, porked his wife, and then they stopped talking to each other. And I'm just like, why are you letting him kick them out of your head, you dumb fuck? Anyway, yeah, that guy would hate being married to me. Oh, oh no. I mean, almost. There'd be no honeymoon. He'd suddenly realize, oh shit, I can't be with her. What am I doing? So I waste people's time and energy, right? Yeah, moving on. Yeah, well, apparently I couldn't just be friends with him. That didn't work out for him. So I'm like, yeah, I get it. No conversation with you anymore. All right. So there are a lot of misconceptions, and it happens because that's how human brains are. But I can say there are a lot of people in the United States of America who have been misdiagnosed. Yes, some are faking being mentally ill, sadly. I don't know. I mean, like, oh, we get free stuff. We can sit around in our ass. I'm like, uh, what? I ran across people when I first applied for disability. When most people get denied the first time, I understood. And then, yes, also, I managed to see a doctor who understood that I had some sleep situation and other kind of things. So, right, then I get put on a medication that was helping. Okay. So I was able, I didn't do anything but work, but was able, yeah, I mean, but it wasn't fair. I didn't have any social life or anything. And I pretty much had to work my ass off to get tickets to hockey games at a certain point. But I heard some of your comments around me. Oh, so you get like, first row because an ice hockey player. And I'm like, it's got nothing to do with that. Paid for it myself. Fuck you. And don't talk to me while the puck is in play. Because when I go to see an ice hockey game, I'm going to see both teams. Of course, I want my team to win, but I am fully present. There is nothing else going on to me other than this game where I'm sitting. I don't go there to be noticed. I don't go there to get a date. I don't go there to sleep with ice hockey players. I don't go there for any other reason but I love the sport and I learn every single game something I learn. And every single game I've ever been to, all those people who were involved in getting those guys on ice and doing the game and everything, right? Well, you had my full fucking attention every time. I turned my phone off. Sometimes I check it in the intermission. Right. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, if I could get to an AHL game, I would try to get to an AHL game. Yeah, I mean, anytime. Right. I mean, if I could. I was working full time. And in some cases, yeah, doing like some certification courses and other, yeah. And people who get pissy around me, it's like, well, you get up every day. You go to work and you go to school. And you buckle down. But I met some people in high school and other like, well, because you, you you guys partied your way through everything, and I didn't do that. I sat down, read my books, I listened to lectures, I took notes, I studied. None of that's gone in vain. None of it's for naught. I listen to those who do it. I listen to people in the rock music, any kind of music. Right. I just swim around music all day long, every day. Right. It's just never going to stop for me. And I like it that way. Okay. Some music, right. It's not exactly my favorite, but on the other hand, I'll listen. Right. And so there are, right. When I discover some new band, I do try to, right, go through your entire catalog. Sometimes it takes time. Some I haven't, but I mean, I do try. There are a lot of you. Right. So I like different kinds of music for different reasons. But I am a bit more rock and roll than some people might prefer. And I don't give a shit what you prefer. And none of you are going to be like, you're a metalhead. No, you don't wear, Iron Maiden shirts. And, slack off. Smoking pot all goddamn day. I know for a fact that there are some artists. I've been following their careers. And I know some just hit the fucking wall and fell down and barely could get back up because the drugs and that kind of stuff gets pushed on you, and then people, right? They're just so happy to be around you and starstruck, and they'll just keep fucking feeding you that crap. I don't envy your lives, and some of you need to get the fuck out of the music industry, right? Before somebody, kicks you out and you become non-relevant in the public. Because the kids don't need you as a fucking example. In terms of the church and state, I'm like, I'm only one. But no. I'm a representative of a church. And I am saying, no, we don't do theocracy here. I agree. This is not going to be turned into a theocracy. And the only reason I would influence any politicians or right is as just as a regular person walking around the United States who's right. But yes, the church in the United States, the church is those who yes or believe in some whatever. Uh, I mean, you're allowed to do that. You just have to do it peaceably and cooperatively. I mean, that's all. So I studied evolution. Right. I mean, I've studied a lot of things. He lets me study things. You understand? It doesn't mean that I'm like buying it hook, line, and sinker. It's just, or to get some perspectives. And when it comes to this country, the church and state is not going to fucking change. Stop trying. Nobody's going to turn it into a theocracy. Quit whining. I mean, just shut up. And don't give me any shit, baby boomers. I mean, you guys. Free love. Cool, man. We fucked ourselves up on LSD. Well, you're not allowed to run this country. And if you find that in some way to be a betrayal, then I suggest you leave this fucking country. I want my God chosen husband. Okay, now if you're with another person, married or not, okay, you are not my romantic partner. Like it or not, believe it or not, two statements. It's not just about physical, right? Like, what are you contributing? Some of you claiming to be my boss, right? What the fuck are you contributing to my life? All you're doing is taking and not providing. Right? Of course, I want to be with a dude physically. I'm a sexual being. Yes, so is everybody in flesh. Well, some decide to go that way, but I did not. I'm also not tossing it out there just to feel loved. And men do it too. Okay, this is not about gender. This is not about your gender. This is about humanness. I know some of these rock and rollers what their fucking struggles were because I've been with you the whole time. And some of you don't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You are not a good example of this. This is okay, right? Yeah, some kids don't belong at certain places. They don't. Okay, yeah, there's some rock shows aren't exactly kid friendly. Not. I mean, it's not even foul language or anything. It's just right. I mean, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, there's some shitty parents in the United States. Let's just fucking face the facts. So shut up about how you fucking think that somebody's trying to turn the United States of America into a theocracy. Go away. I asked God to choose my husband for me. I don't need somebody walking around with a suit and tie all the time. I mean, I'm not averse to it, but okay, I don't want to spend half my fucking day trying to look pretty for somebody. And yeah, that's the other thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna come at you as me. Yeah, this is what I look like when I wake up. Well, except sometimes, right? Yeah, sometimes like this, and then yeah, eye crust, right? I'm missing some teeth. A lot of that has to do with dry mouth for meds. Some statins, by the way, will mess with your gums. Yes, statins are taking cholesterol. And then, right, the medication they keep trying to make me take because they swear I have diabetes. Not sure I read. Right, metformin. I only take 500. Right, I'm like, I'm not, yeah. I mean, I might be hypoglycemic, which is, yeah, an issue. I do have to eat small meals throughout the day. It keeps the, right. And I do have to watch for carbs and sugars. I don't really like sugary things anyway. Yeah, I'm not one of those kind of people. I really don't like regular chocolate. I can do dark chocolate. White chocolate, no. I really am not into that kind of stuff. Haven't been for a long time. I mean, I'll eat it occasionally when it's around. I mean, it is calories. It is, something. But it's not my thing. I don't drink a lot of soda anymore. If I do, it's regular Coca Cola. I know my copy has a song. Pepsi Cola is a drink for you to pour down the kitchen sink. Tastes like vinegar, looks like ink. Pepsi Cola sure does stink. I'm like, I know, Benjamin, I don't like to be rushed either. I don't have some kind of biological clock that's ticking or any other kind of bullshit. I'm I'm a natural born American female, U.S. American female. Well, the Americas are South America and Canada, and okay, so United States of America and territories. Okay, so we're not making a new Rome over here in the United States of America. Please be aware of that. And the Constitution still stands and holds. And there are many of you who actually are mistaken. Okay, your First Amendment rights, okay, become null and void when you commit actual real crimes and when you stomp on someone else's civil rights. Okay, this is just true. See, you don't want to hear the truth, but it's coming to you anyway. Now, look, in my eyes, do you see deception? You don't want to hear from a female? Fine. Fuck you. One of my brothers can tell you. Oh, you don't know who my brothers are either, do you? Yeah, you don't know much. Generation Z, United States of America. Okay, don't be fucking looking at other countries like they got it all wrong either. I mean, come on, let's take a nice look around our own. They're Gen Z that can't read and fucking write. We're not a series of numbers. Hockey metrics are bullshit. Yeah, it means you don't know the game and you have to process it a certain way, is what the fuck that means. Like, right. I mean, I might look at time on ice, other kind of things, but I don't, like, if I'm watching a game, nobody needs to tell me that my team's not blocking shots, okay? Okay. Nobody needs to tell me that my team has had, yes, a lot less puck possession. And yes, those of you who are natural goal scorers and forwards, and right, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I hear you. Okay, but what? Maybe no one explained it to you this way. But you do have to understand responsive, like defensive responsibility, in that maybe you need to take a few extra skate strides. Oh, got my computer wet. Getting all excited about ice hockey. Yeah, maybe you got to go chasing after the puck like a little bit, like stay a little longer on ice to make sure you got puck possession. Maybe, yeah, like you gotta, you still do have to adjust sometimes to what the other team's doing, and that is actually an offense. Okay, offense if you're from Canada, and offense if you're from the U.S. Maneuver, because it then right provides your team puck possession, and with the puck, you are right more likely to score a goal than without. So just look at it that way. Okay, and some you got the legs and the chops to be able to do just a little bit extra, right? You understand what I mean? If your goalie and your D is getting just whatever, okay, it's defensive responsibility. We're not asking you to be a defenseman. I know you're shooters, you're skaters, right? But sometimes you got to be the one to do maybe that little extra, or maybe that one thing as you grow and learn and you start really picking up the pace of the game. You just know ahead. We need possession of the puck before I leave the ice. Or if right, or we're going to get a penalty. So yeah, like make sure right to those who know the game really well, or just start doing that. It's just in them. They don't have to think about it. Okay, it is sad to me that I'm not being heard because all I have ever done in my life is try and help some people avoid problems and mistakes, especially if they are not well educated. And what I have to say to males who come from other countries, when you come to the United States of America, you must be abundantly aware, okay, that, yeah, a female can be a submissive wife. And that's not some kind of weird trade offer or putting, like, that's not what that means, okay? You must be aware that you might have a female boss. You must be aware that females are in the government. I've met some who shouldn't have been, by the way. Homeland Security. I was far better qualified to be able to make that call. And you guys, right, didn't think it necessary to keep me employed. That's your fucking fault, United States of America. You just throw geniuses away and treat them like fucking trash. I mean, if you're not my boyfriend and we're not doing some fun, then you better fucking stay the fuck away from me. And if anybody puts their hands on me, I can assure you, they regret it. Class it up, the United States of America, before you go looking at other countries like they're fucking less than. Other countries, right? Yeah, we got a separation of church and state, so we can't work it the way you guys do. Absolutely, this will not become a theocracy. And some of you don't even know what you're talking about. You just repeat what your parents say, or you just repeat what's on TV, or you just right. Okay, I know people who don't even know we have three branches of government, and some of those people I was in a civics class with at some point. There's nothing wrong with a civil society. We have responsibilities to each other, legal United States residents. Okay? We have responsibilities to each other in this country. Okay? So I'm all good with legal residents, people who are visiting legally, so on. I'm all good with that. Okay, but legal residents, permanent, or you just citizen, or you're on the way to citizenship. Okay, we have a responsibility to each other. And Peter Gabriel once said that I had to put that at number one concert I've attended. It was a beautiful evening. It was at Bristol, Virginia. Well, outdoor. And yeah, it used to be Cellar Door Drive. It used to be, I don't know, it's been called Nissan. It's been called lots of stuff, but most music people, they know what I mean. And I was with a friend, and we both, really like Peter Gabriel and Genesis and the variations. And I also got a soundboard copy of that concert to remember it by. But I mean, yeah, I pretty much got it perfectly in memory. And I really appreciated that specific tour because he was touring with Melanie, his daughter, my daddy daughter. I really that I like that. I'm like, oh, I like family, right? But I appreciate musicians that, right, travel with him, play, right. I also, it's the whole, kid and caboodle. And he said that, in the United States, we have a great responsibility to the rest of the planet. I mean, with that great responsibility, and he is absolutely right, comes a, right. We have a lot. Like, we, mix and mingle throughout the entire world, the entirety of the planet. And a lot of countries, people will call our president of the United States leader of the free world. Well, who's leading the unfree world? Maybe they need some help. Okay, but I get it. Okay, if we want to exalt ourselves and put ourselves there and blah blah blah, and look around and third world countries, blah blah blah, we have a responsibility, United States American people who are here legally. You can't just sit around on your ass and not vote and complain and look around and like look at other countries like they're doing something fucking wrong. Sit down, shut up. Now, you're stupid is showing so obviously that it's like, well, just let the fools talk for a while and then they're easy to spot. Well, I worked alongside the U.S. government. It's kind of like, I don't know, Mr. Peter Gabriel. I'm not sure this cheese is ready to lead yet. I hate to say it about my own country, but holy fuck! Get your shit together. United States of America. That includes each and every man, woman, and child in this country. Okay, right. Oh no, the government's supposed to do that for us. Oh, but we don't like the government. I'm like, okay, shut the fuck up. Study and learn how your basic government works before you open your goddamn mouth. If you were naturally born in the United States, you need to, the language we speak is English. Not the Queen's English, but English nonetheless. That's not changing. Be willing to look within your own country, to look at the government, to look at other things. All of us to just generally just be looking around our own neighborhoods. Celebrities. If you got fucking something to say to me, you better have the balls to fucking come say it right to my face. If you do not want to take part as a citizen in the United States of America, then leave. You're not that special. So yeah, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Some of you should be trembling in fear. Some of you should be like, oh my God, they're gonna find out what I have to. Yeah. Well, some of you are gonna get kicked out.